Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial, very beginner friendly, very fun, and very sellable. It's a double pocket zipper pouch. To make this is 4 pieces of fabric and 2 zippers. No interfacing at all. You could if you want, but this is it. I love it. This would make a great farmer's market sale. This would make a great sell on your Etsy shop. You can make it bigger, smaller. You could make it waterproof by putting the PUL inside. I'm also gonna give you guys some information on the zipper tape I use. This stuff is like a dream to work with. It was super easy to put these pulls on. I'll have to do a little video and show you because this is new to me. The zipper tape I've had before was some inexpensive zipper tape I had bought probably on Amazon. It was a nightmare to try to get the pull on, so I didn't make a video on how to do it yet. I used this stuff last night and this is just, it's night and day quality. So anyway, we're gonna get started on this cute little zipper bag. You can't stop making them because I want to make a lot of them and just have them because they're cute. They're cute laying down. I also want to change the pattern a little bit maybe and make one that stands up down the road. So anyway, this pattern is going to use French seams. If you have not used French seams before, I'm here to show you how to use or do French seams. They're very simple. So enough talking. Let's get started. And by the way, if you guys like tutorials, I will be making a new tutorial. I will make a new tutorial once a week. I can't give the date yet. I don't know. But once a week, tutorials coming from me to you. So, all right, thanks guys. Let's get this going. All right, guys, here are the pieces that you're gonna need to make this super cute double zipper pouch. I used just a plain white lining on this one, and then I use zipper tape by Zipper Valley. So I will include that in my description. I love this stuff. It's very much fun to work with, and the zipper quality is just, I'm kind of addicted to using it. So anyway, here's our bag. The finished size of this bag is 9.5 wide by 10.5 tall. All right, so let's set this one aside and let's get started with our pieces we need. So to make that bag, all you need is 2 rectangles inside and outside for the large pouch, and then 2 rectangles for the inside and outside of the small pouch, and 2 zippers. My zipper tape is 14 inches long, and I made mine a little bit longer so that I have room to move my pull over to when I'm sewing things together. So this was a 14-inch zipper tape. In the description I'll also put what size zipper you would want to get for if you bought the pre-made zippers. All right, so let's get started. Put everything aside. We are going to start with sewing our rectangles together. Sorry, I just have to move all my stuff out of the way. We're going to sew our rectangles together, and this is going to seem odd, but we're going to sew wrong sides together, and we are not going to turn this out. So we're going to sew both of these up all the way around with a 1/4 inch or smaller seam allowance. Right sides out, wrong sides together. So it's right side back there, right side here, right side, and the right side. I don't want to say it wrong. I've said it wrong before. So this is how I'm going to sew it. Right sides out, wrong sides together. All right, let's go stitch that up. Okay, so we have both of our rectangles, and the best thing to do here is just to go ahead and clean up the seam allowance you just did. So if you didn't do an 1/8 inch, clean it up to about an 1/8 inch. So take off any extra bulk that we don't need. Okay, so we're gonna set this one aside. And we're gonna go ahead with our smaller pocket. And since I have a directional fabric on my lining, I need to make sure that this is up for inside my bag. So I am going to flip it over, and I want to work on the outside. Here's how it's going to go when the zipper is sewn in, because I want that right side up. So I'm going to take my zipper tape. I'm going to put my extra zipper tape at the end, and I'm putting right sides together, and I'm going to go ahead and clip this zipper down. I'm going to go ahead and move this all the way carefully to the end so it's out of my way. And I'm going to go attach this, and then I'll be right back. Now I'm just going to take this to my iron and press this top seam down so I can do a top stitch along this seam here. Alright, so the top of the zipper has been sewn on, and now we're going to put this pull again out of our way. That's why I sure recommend a larger zipper, so you can do that. We're going to pull up the bottom, and we're going to match it to the other side of the zipper. Just make sure that you still are at the same, make sure your sides line up and make sure everything is where you want it. And we're going to take this back to the machine and sew that on. Okay, the second side is on. We're just going to take it to the iron again and press this seam down. But first thing, we want this top portion to be approximately 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch. And this gets, I gotta clip my end here to kind of keep it together for me. So I'm gonna go right about, I guess I'll probably end up doing about actually an inch. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and press this down, and then I'm going to top stitch right through all these layers. Okay, so now our smaller pouch is complete. We are going to attach it to the big pouch. Now my interior of the big pouch does not have directional fabric, so the top side doesn't matter. So I'm going to pick this as my top. And 1 3/4 inches down from the raw edge, so it's 1 3/4 inches, 1 3/4 inches. I'm going to go ahead and line this up, make sure my sides are lining up, and then make sure the top is lining up. Then I'm going to go ahead and pin this down. And then we'll take it to the machine and we'll stitch across the top and we'll stitch across the bottom, attaching it to this pocket. Alright, so now we have the small pocket attached to the larger pocket, and now we're going to attach the other zipper to the main pouch. So this is right side up, so the zipper is going to be right side down, so right sides together. Just going to give it a couple pins and take it to the machine and sew it on. Okay, we just have one more side, the bottom, which goes around the back. We need to attach that to the top of the zipper as well. Line up our sides over here and pin and then sew it on. And then do a top stitch. So I'll just go ahead and do that. Okay, I decided to come back over and show you the progress. So now I've attached the top edge of this to the zipper, and this is where we decided, the top dimension. I like to do this one a little bit bigger than this space, but not a ton bigger. So let's just say an inch, inch and a quarter, whatever feels right to your eye. And then you see I have a little bit of the big bag showing at the bottom. I kind of like that. So I think this is where I'm going to choose to go. And now I'm going to open this up and I'm going to top stitch only through this layer. I'm not going to sew it through like I did with this one. I'm going to top stitch on top of here. All right, our zippers are all fully attached. Now we're going to enclose the sides. We're going to actually trim this down after, but I'm going to clip my zipper here again. Or actually, I'll just clip on either side and I'll just move it as I come along. So what we're going to do is we're going to enclose this bag with a French seam enclosure. So we're going to top stitch down just like the bag is right now. We're going to go about 1/4 of an inch up both sides. Make sure you get as straight as you can and make sure you follow your edge. Okay. All right, now we are going to, all right, now we're going to clean up our side seams. We're going to trim the side seam down to about 1/8 of an inch. Okay, and if you have any long strings, make sure you take care of them now. All right, now, and make sure you park this center zipper down here. Have this one open enough to turn it, but not so it's gonna be over there. So what we're gonna do now, since it's a French seam closure, is we're gonna turn the bag wrong side out gently. Make sure you expose the corners really well. Let me know if you guys have done French seams before. I'm gonna move my zipper closer to the middle so it's completely out of my way. So the French seam means we are gonna come back now and we're gonna do about a 3/8 of an inch to a 1/2 of an inch seam just up both sides to enclose that raw edge that was on the outside that we just made. When you sew over your zipper right here, go nice and slow. If you get stuck, just use the wheel on your sewing machine and gently roll through it. So let's go do our final step. Alright, so here's the final bag. Let's open the zipper and turn it right side out and see if our raw edges got enclosed in the French seam. I ended up doing closer to 1/2 inch. My machine kind of just made me because of the size of the side I was sewing over, but that is just fine. We have plenty of room to spare the extra seam allowance. So look at that. All my raw edges are enclosed. Nothing is poking through. Very nice. So there is the bag. Now that I'm done banging these zipper pulls around, I will go ahead and take the protective coating off. I decided to leave it on this time because I kind of get banged up against the sewing machine and everything. This is the rose gold. And that's plastic. That's a plastic coil zipper. Is that not the coolest thing ever? These are a size 5 zippers, so they're a bigger tape and a bigger coil. And I kind of like that. It makes me not have to use my zipper foot as well. So there's our finished bag. Let's check out that one with the first one. So I can see this one's a little bit smaller since I ended up doing a bigger seam allowance. So this one ends up being 9 1/4 wide, whereas this one was closer to 9 1/2 wide. Same height, but see the variations in all the materials and the zippers and where we put our fold. It's all up to you and how you make them. I think these are super cool. I think these might be one of my new favorite things to make. So the inside pocket is all enclosed in its own zipper. And then the inside main pocket in the back is all its own pocket. So you can keep things separate. So there we go, you guys. There's the double pocket zipper pouch. Super easy. You just take a little time when you sew over some of this bigger stuff, but 4 rectangles of fabric, 2 zippers, and you're making yourself a zipper tote, a little zipper bag. I think I might want to make some of these, make this pocket smaller and then pleat the bottom so that they stand up, because why not, right? Alright, thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll be back next week for another tutorial.